Hello and welcome to Driver's Therapy. In today's video, we are going to be talking about titling an international vehicle in the United States. So first of all, I'm sure each state is slightly different, but there's probably some overarching themes here as far as the paperwork that is required to get your vehicle titled. So for us here in Colorado, we actually went to our DMV pretty early on and asked them, what are we going to need to do? And they gave us a printout, which I have a photo of, so I'm going to be referencing that as we go because it's quite a bit of stuff. All right, first of all, not very surprising, you need the actual title that comes with the car. So for us, that was in German, which meant we had to get it translated. That's also on the list. Makes sense, they want it in English. So for us, we took pictures, scanned everything, and uploaded it for quotes to a few of the different online quick translator companies. And they came back with some kind of varied quotes, but we ended up choosing one kind of in the middle range, which was rushtranslate.com. And they were really nice because their responses were very human and very prompt. And once we did enter the process with them, they sent us a draft translation, which we got to review and either approve or request changes. There were a couple of things that we needed kind of formatted differently, so we submitted it and asked for changes, which they sent back, we approved, and then they notarized it. So in Colorado, that is part of the requirement, is having that, official, approved, yes, this was translated word for word and real as best as we could, documentation. So we had the title and we had the translated title. Next, we had the bill of sale. Pretty standard, but our information, seller's information, some vehicle information, purchase price, all of that. That was something that we definitely had to have. And a keynote here is that our purchase date was way earlier than when we received the vehicle. So we couldn't really title it until we had done a couple of these other things, which I'm about to talk about. So we had to talk to the DMV and tell them, no, we're not titling this late by what your standards are. We didn't receive the car until a couple months after we purchased it. And they worked with us and said, okay, that makes sense. We'll put that as your, start date. And so nothing was late, which was great. So part of why we couldn't get it titled the immediate instant we purchased it is because it has to have a VIN verification. Now, if you've purchased cars out of state before, that's pretty common. You take the vehicle with you when you go to title and register it. The DMV person pops outside, looks at the paperwork, looks at the VIN on the car, checks it off, says it's good. For us, it was a little more complicated this time because our S800 isn't running yet. So we had to have a local law enforcement officer come out to our house, and they brought a specific form with them, looked at the vehicle, checked over the paperwork, filled out their form, and gave us that form to take with us to the DMV. So that was pretty important. Okay, another thing that's required is a certified weight slip if the information isn't already else on your vehicle. So for us, on our title document, it does say the weight of the vehicle, so we did not have to go get it certified at a scale, which was great. The odometer disclosure, for us, we had it listed on our bill of sale, but because of the age of the vehicle, they also had the option to exempt it. So depending on where you are, maybe you can kind of go either route on that. And also very important, customs documentation. So here in Colorado, there's several different documents that they will accept. We had two of them that our importer provided to us, so we went ahead and gave both of those to the DMV to make sure that they've got everything they need. And then we also had the HS7 declaration saying that the vehicle is non-conforming. So that's basically saying that this vehicle does not meet current US regulations, and it's kind of exempt basically because it's very old. It's past that 25-year limit. And then finally, the documentation of purchase price. So for us, on our bill of sale, our purchase price was written in US dollars, so we were good to go. But for Colorado, if it had been written in euros or something, we would have had to get a conversion rate, certified by the bank to say how much it was because, taxes are based on your purchase price. So the DMV is very interested in that number. So this took a while to get put together. It took a few weeks to get everything totally done between researching the translation companies, getting the translations, getting the VIN verified, and pulling everything together. I also made an additional trip to the DMV before we had the translations back, just to show them everything I had already. And they said, yes, this works, this is good, blah, blah, blah. Took some notes, came back, got everything else, and then we actually went in to title it. So unfortunately, because it is a high-risk title, it's from another country, we did not get a title in our hands immediately that day, but we should have one here in a few weeks. Thanks for checking in with us, and I hope you guys are having a great month of October so far, and we will see you later.